Hello Year 3, this is your maths video for Tuesday the 19th of January. Now today what we're going to do for our learning objective is to understand that finding a fraction of a number relates to division. So thinking back to what we did yesterday and how we could divide on all those different numbers and the different steps we could break up, we're going to look at that in a little bit more detail today. And I've tried to get some different questions because I know quite a few of them yesterday were quite similar. So let's have a look. So my first question here, it says 1/4 of 8. Now, we know that there are 4 parts to my whole, okay? So I've got 4 circles here, so I can split my counters up into 4 different groups. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to split them up evenly. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have split them up into 4 groups, and we know that 4 groups out of a whole is a quarter, don't we? So it's asking for 1/4 of 8. Now there's 8 counters there that we already looked at, and we split them up into a quarter. So how many is in 1/4 here? How many do you think, Year 3? If you said 2, you are absolutely correct. So 1/4 of 8 is 2. Well done, superstars. Let's look at another question here. So this question, and I know it says a quarter, but we're going to have a look at some other ones in a second, so don't worry. 1/4 of 16. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Phew, lots of counting. So we've got 16 counters there, and we need to be splitting them up into the different parts of the whole. How many parts of the whole do we have there? We've got 4, hence why I've got 4 circles. So let's split these counters up and see. So I'm going to do it a little bit speedier now. I'm going to put 2 in there, and I'm going to put 2 in there, and I'm going to do the same here. And I'm going to do the same here, okay? But I've still got some left, so I'm going to repeat that now. So another 2, another 2, another 2. Do we have another group for another 2, Year 3? I do. So I'm going to do another 2. So remember, I'm only looking for 1/4, aren't I? Now I've split my 16 up into quarters. How many is in 1/4, Year 3? There are 4 in 1/4. So 1/4 of 16 equals 4. Super. Let's have a look at another one. So now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, and it doesn't help with Miss Dunn's head being in the way, does it? So let's move that down here. Hello. Right, so we are going to be looking at 2/5 of 20 now. So I've got 20 counters, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Fantastic, I've got 20 counters, and I'm going to be splitting them up into how many groups? 5. So that's why I've got my 5 circles here, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to try and split them up, try and share them into their different groups. So I'm going to use the tactic I used before where I was sorting them out in groups of 2. So 1 group of 2, and I'm just going to do this for all of them, okay? And then we'll assess what we can do next. Right, so I'm going to try again because I've got quite a few left over. So I'm going to try and do 2s again. This might not necessarily work. You might have to do it 1 counter at a time, which is absolutely fine. I'm just doing this just to speed it up a little bit. So splitting them up into their groups, 2 at a time. There we go. And I've got 1 group left. Where does that one go, Year 3? It goes at the bottom, doesn't it? So, oh, had a little dance then. So I've split them up into their groups now, and there's 5 groups with 20 counters in altogether. So I'm going to be looking at 2/5 now, not 1, 2. So let's have a look. Now we know that 1 circle is 1/5. So we're going to be looking at 2 circles. Okay, 2 groups. How many counters are in 2 groups? Can you count them, year 3? If you said 8, you are absolutely correct. Well done. So 2/5 of 20 is 8. Fantastic. And I have 1 left. 1 left. I'm going to have to move myself again. I keep getting in the way, don't I? There we go. Move myself back up. Right, so we're going to be looking at 1/3 now. So we've got how many counters? Oh, it looks like we've got 30 this time. And we're going to split them into groups of 3. Okay, so we've got my 3 big circles at the bottom, and I'm going to be splitting my 30 counters. I nearly said 20. My 30 counters into groups of 3. So what I'm going to do my tactic. Ooh, Miss Dunn's counters are dancing, doing 2 at a time. Oh, dearie me, that doesn't work, does it? What's going on there? Right, never mind. What I'm going to do then, Miss Dunn's thinking on her feet, because sometimes not everything works all together, does it? So I'm going to do a box instead. We're going to do a box just like that. And it still shows us that we're splitting things up, these counters up, into thirds, doesn't it? Just like a bar chart that we've been looking at last week. So let's have another look. Let's move these a bit further over and let's start again. Off we go. So there we go. And we've used how many counters so far? We've used 6, haven't we? So let's continue. So I'm going to do the middle one. Let's do the end one. There we go. Next, and let's start again from the beginning. Hey, there's a lot of counters here, year 3. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 counters I'm on now. So this will be 16, 18. Gosh, I'm going to have to do it again, aren't I? 20. It's not working now. 22. 24. 26. 28. Oh, there we go. 30. Right, so now what we're looking at is we are looking at 1/3, aren't we? So we split them up into groups of 3. We split 30 counters up into groups of 3. So I'm looking at 1/3. So I'm going to do a big circle all around one section that I'm looking at. There we go. And how many is in that group, year 3? Let's count them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1/3 of 30 equals 10. Super. Now on your sheet for today, there are lots of different questions all for you to answer. Now there's some counters, so if you could print the sheet out, you could cross them off as you sort them into groups, or you could draw them yourselves, or you could be really creative and you could do it with something like Skittles or M&Ms, things that you've got lying about the house. I hope you have fun with this activity. As always, if you've got any problems, please just send me a message on Class Dojo and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, year 3. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.